Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I've come on to show you how to make this really cute little Christmas. Oh dear, Christmas. I can tell it's late at night, my girls are in bed so I'm trying to get a video up. Just this little Christmas gift box. You could have it on your table as a favour, you could gift it to children or adults, you could change the pictures up. There is, as you can see there, sorry about the glare, an acetate window. I've tried to make it look a bit like snow, but yeah. That was a little line I put in wrong, but never mind, nobody knows, only you. So yeah, I thought that's what we'd make today. Excuse me. So there are, you know, a few little different bits that I've used, and I have gone ahead and pre-cut things already. But first of all, you are going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 8 1/4 by 11 1/2. Oh dearie me. And on the long side, taking your bone folder. Can you see that? Sorry about the glare, it's all my lights on my desk. Yeah, so you want to score this. Hang on a minute. Do you know I haven't even written the measurements down? Oh dear, let me just remember them. So you want to score it at 2, 5 1/2, 7 1/2, and 11. Well, that's not bad remembering, is it? And then along the bottom, you want to score at 2, 6 inches, this is, by the way, sorry, and 7 1/2. Oops. And then just before we take it away, you want to take, on that short, on the long side, you've got one score line here. See that first score line? We're just going to score halfway here down to that first score line on the 2 side pieces. So at the very beginning, you just want to score at 1 inch just down to that first score line, and then you want to score at 6 1/2 inches just down to that first score. So you'll have that. Can you see that? Yeah. So that's what you need to do. And then before we score, don't know how easy you're going to see, but this is going to be the back where the thin strip is. That's going to go round and it'll be the back. So this panel, you can see there, is going to be my front, this bit. So to create the window, I used just a stitched square. It won't be stitched on your project, but we're going to do another one to outline it. And all I've done is I've popped the square a little way above that bottom bit of the score line there. So that's what you're going to do, and you're going to take it over to your machine and just cut it out like that, just leaving a nice border, and it just leaves a larger little bit at the bottom. So I'm going to pause the video and then I'll come back, okay? So okay, I'm back now, and you've got a nice little stitched square there. Keep that, don't throw it. To create the border for the outside, I just laid up another square and cut another piece of card. I'll show you the colour. I'm just going to go back over my score marks, just because sometimes they can, you know, running through a big shot. I have used the A4 Big Shot to do this. If you don't have it, you could just use your craft knife and a ruler and then just cut that. You could cut that with your craft knife rather than a machine. So I'm just putting the scores back in, just because sometimes when you run them through your machine, it can go a bit flat. But I needed the score lines in just so I knew where to put the square. So then what I did was I took the 2 small squares and I've created, I've used a silver foil, and that's going to lay over the top. Hang on a minute, I've done the wrong size. Bear with me. It's okay, I know what I've done, it's fine. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to stick this on yet. I should have cut the window out with this one, and I've cut it out with the larger one. It should have been this one, but it's fine, because what I'm going to do is put my piece of acetate in, and then I'll just stick that back inside the window. Whereas on this one, this square was smaller, but it's, you know, not to worry, we'll work our way around that. So you do want to take a piece of acetate, and I'm just going to get my trimmer and we'll cut that. Just got to move some things out of the way first. So I'm just going to bring in my trimmer, and that piece was 3.5, so we're just going to go a little bit under 3.5, and it was by 4, so we'll just go a little way under there, and then that should fit. Big gap. So if we turn that over, that should then fit just inside. Might take a little slither off. Excuse me. So I'll just move them pieces out of the way. Need my glue. Very unorganised. Never mind. We'll get there. So I'm just going to run a bead of glue around the edge of here. So obviously you would have had a little bit more room than I've got, because this window really should be a bit smaller, but there's no point in wasting it, so I may as well just carry on. Right, here we go. So I'm just going to lay that inside that frame, and hopefully that just won't squash. Right, I think I've got a kitten somewhere clawing up the window. Okay, excuse me. So that's the window, there you can see. So what I'm going to do with this is very, very, very carefully, with just the minutest bit of glue, is stick that in. So I'm just going to put a tiny amount of glue on because I don't want it to spread on the acetate, otherwise it will just poke out into the window. So I'm going to try and get this right inside where we did that cut mark, and hopefully that will do the same thing. I hope so. Because I wouldn't want to waste any paper. I'm just going to get my, there we go. So that has now worked. Get that off. So then what we're going to do is just get a little piece of white card, and I'm just going to cut a couple of probably say an 1/8 of an inch strip. So I'm just going to lay that on my trimmer. That's about okay. Just double check. Okay, that's a bit better. Right, so I'm just going to take a ruler. I've got one here, and I'm just going to mark with a pencil across the inside. Am I still in shot? Yeah. Across the inside of my frame. So the inside measures 2 5/8. So what I'm going to do is just put a little mark in about 2 1/4 at the top, and then about, I meant 1 1/4, not 2 1/4, and then there as well. And then what you can do is just take your strip. So I'm just going to cut that down wherever my scissors have gone. Pop 2 dots of glue at either end. And then I'm just going to lay them over where I've made that mark. So you're not really going to see the inside of the box anyway, so that doesn't really matter. And then what you want to do is just do the same thing again. Measure halfway, so about 1 1/4. I'll just pause that and come back. Okay, so I'm back and that looks about okay. As you can see, there's your little window. So then what I did was I still have the Stampin' Up! Cookie Cutter Christmas and the Cookie Cutter Punch. So I thought I would use that and cut myself a couple of little gingerbread men. And I've cut 2 pretty bows. So one I'm going to make a girl and one I'm going to make a boy. So I've just taken the bows. So I'm just going to pop some glue on. I'm going to put this one on the girl's head. And then I'm going to take the next one and make that as the boy's little bow tie. And I'm just going to place it above that button. Just there. And then you want to decide where you want your gingerbread man. So I want them to peek through the window. So what I did, I'm not sure if this is going to fit now actually because the inside window's a bit... I joined the hands together like that. And then in the other one, because the window wasn't as wide, the arms reach... Oh, it does. Yay! The arms reach either the span of the window. So that's what I'm going to do again. I popped a little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue there, and then the middle of their arms met onto the middle of the window. So that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully that'll be okay. So let's see. I have to stand up. So just making sure their arms meet and then press that middle of the window, if you can see. So let's, and then just turn it over and give that a press. So that's how I've put the gingerbread man in the window. So now, quickly, how long have we been going? Oh, 13 minutes. So where we had the marks, if you can see, where we drew in that skull, we're just going to make a triangle in both of them, in that one and that one. So from there to that corner, from that corner back up to the point. So I'll pause it and do that. Okay, focus. So I've done that and there you can see them triangles. So then what I want to do is very carefully fold and burnish along all your score lines. I'm just going to open my door because my little kitten is trying to get out. She might need the toilet. Sorry. So let me just zoom out again. Okay, so you want to fold now and burnish along all of the score lines. It's a really nice simple box, and you know they're really going to look pretty on your Christmas table or to give to your children's friends at school. Anybody really. Put different characters in the windows to make them more adult like. Well, this top line here, you want to fold that back on itself. That's where we're going to close it. And then all you want to do is push that together, and then this will automatically want to fold. Okay, and then that side will automatically want to do the same. So you'll have that. Oops, I've bent that bit, but that's okay. So again, just bend that. It's just to work it really. It will automatically go anyway. But there you go. And then all we need to do is just do a bit of cutting. So on these squares at the bottom, I'm going to cut along the inside of that score line and just notch it a little bit on either side. And then again on this one as well, on the inside of that score mark, and then notch. And then again on this one. It's sticking to my scissors. And then on the very last piece, you want to take this rectangle completely off and then just notch along that side. Okay, so that's the cutting. That's all you're going to do. Now for the snow, just going to move your box to one side, bring in your scoreboard, and you're going to need 3 pieces of, well, I'm white because it's snow, and they measure 3.5 inches, which should be, sorry for my arm, oh my gosh, yeah, it's the width of that, and I've just cut this by 2.5. So you want to score on the 2.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. No, you don't. Hang on a minute. Just measure this at 3/4 inch. So just put a score mark at 3/4 inch. And then we're just going to create some snow for the roof. So you can just do this however you want. I'm not even that good at fussy cutting or anything like that. But this is all I did to create my snow drifts. And then back up. So that's all I did. And then that top piece, you just want to bend it over and then just burnish. So that then will sit inside there like that. So let me just take a look. I think it's a little tiny fraction too big. Let me just take a little bit off on my trimmer. There we go. So you want to pop some glue all along the back. So all along the back and on that snowdrift bit as well. And then we can just stick this down. Just making sure that sits on there. Oops. Come off. Just making sure so there's your little bit of snow on there, and then that will just bend over. So for the snow over the window, again, you don't need to cut it this time, but you're just going to make just some more snowdrifts really. So I do a bigger one at first. So each time you do this, because you're freehanding it, it's going to be different anyway. They're not all going to be the same. So then that would go along there. And then the next one, I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. So and then we can place that one on top. So it's like that. So I'm just going to stick those two together. So they're going to be like that, and then they're going to just cover the bottom of that window. So bring this back in. And then just place that along there. And if there is a little bit of overhang, you can always just trim that off after. So then what we're going to do is I'm just going to put some glue all around these snowbanks. However you want, you could just paint it on a little bit if you wanted to. And then I've got some dazzling diamonds from when I was with Stampin' Up, and it is so sparkly. Can you see that? I don't even know if they still sell it actually. They might. So then I'm just going to fold this back and then put some along like that, as you see that? So I'm just going to repeat that on the top of the roof as well, only keeping it on the white area. And just doing it however you like. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some more on there. Like that. And then that's that. And now I'm going to be covered all in glitter. But never mind. Okay. So that's about the decoration finished. And then just being quite careful, because obviously you've just put your glitter on. You want to pop some glue or double-sided tape, whichever you prefer, all down this long edge. Alright. And then we can start to close the box. So fold that piece over, and that piece should just meet perfectly. Just there. On the last box I did actually add the glue and this snow at the very end, which probably is a better idea, because then you're going to give it time to dry. So if you wanted to leave your box now, you could leave your box like that and keep it flat until you actually want to come to use it. But obviously this is a video and we're going to put it together. So I'm going to close in the two side panels first. I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue on the edge. And then just on that flap a little bit as well. And we're just going to push the back one in. And then again on the front flap. And then just close that up as well. And then you can just turn it over, and if you've got a long bone folder or maybe a ruler, you could just press that together like so, and then the top will squeeze down and you'll have those beautiful sides that we created. I've just forgotten something, so I'll just be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. Whew. Just had to run downstairs. I'd bought some sweets earlier and I had to hide them from the girls so they don't know. Just because they will just take every one of them and I'll have nothing to put in my boxes. So I've got these mini packs of Maltesers, and we've got some M&Ms, my absolute favourite chocolates. So we'll chuck a couple of packs. So I've got 4 packets in there, 2 Maltesers and 2 M&Ms, and I bet you I can squeeze another M&M in. Yes. And as you can see, it's not affected the sides of the bag at all, so I can't get another one of those in. So that's what we've got so far. I thought I had a clip. I don't think I have. How annoying. Anyway, so what you want to do is we're going to just make a couple of holes. So all I'm going to do is use this, it's a Fiskars 1/8 of an inch hole punch, and push it in at the side. Don't want to go too far in. So about, how far in is that? Probably about 3/8 of an inch in from the side. And I'm just going to repeat that on this side. Watch it be nowhere near. A little bit more. Okay, so not bad. Then I've got some of this lovely organza ribbon, and this is the tricky bit for me because of these holiday nails that I've still got on. It can be a bit tricky to pull that through. And I don't want you to watch me struggle, so I'm going to pause that and come back. Right, okay, so I've managed to push that through. And then all I'm going to do is just tie a knot there on the top. And that will be it. You could put a nice snowflake in the window as well, that would look really nice. So it's a little bit loose, but it's okay. I'll tighten that up after the video. And then you just want to cut your edges of your ribbon. And that is it. Let's get rid of all this rubbish. So, oh, that is not it. I've got one more piece, but I don't know, I don't think I want that on. Obviously because the window was a bit smaller on that. Well, mind you, I don't think it needs it, to be honest, on this one. But they're the boxes. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll give it a go. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and see more videos to come. So thanks again. See you again next time. Links to where you can find me and my email to contact me will all be in the description bar below. Bye.